most important part of a song for me is the first line. The first line lays it all out, just like an architect might be designing something. That first line, it lays it all out, and you build on that first line. So many of my songs have been stories, and in the first line, it lays out the story. Oh, once I loved an outlaw. That lays out all kinds of things come to mind. Noah was a rocket scientist. And that lays it all, you go to yourself, that one line lays it all out. It also gives you the meter, how many beats you've got in a line. In that particular song, it was interesting because it was 2 longer lines, 2 shorter lines, and an ending line. So and the rhyme scheme was A, B, B, A. And it just, I didn't start out to do it that way, but that's just the way it worked. And so the rhyme scheme is always interesting, whether it's going to be an A, B, or an A, B, C, B. That's usually what most people do. Every other line they rhyme. But sometimes it's, internal rhymes. All sorts of things will come to you by accident, and then you'll go, maybe I should keep doing that. But laying out the story often comes with that one first line. So that's a very important. Also, daydreaming and talking to yourself. Your daydreams, and if you talk to yourself while your daydreams are going down, you'll find yourself writing songs. I remember I wrote a song. I was thinking about my own old dog, Noodles. Noodles was a long-haired dachshund, not one of those short ones you see in New York City that are so yappy, but a country dog, big country hunting dog actually. And it's and I was thinking Noodles was a great dog for us kids, protective and fun to play with, and would go off in the knobs with us and do hikes. And it would, any other dog that came to our house, it would like be standing there majestic and protected. When a possum would come around, Noodles would like fight it off and get it out. Well, I was just thinking of Noodles and all the things, a funny little thing happened, and it just came to my mind. I said, how I miss that dog of mine. I just said to myself, and I said it out loud. So when you talk to yourself out loud, sometimes that one line will come and you'll go, oh, there's a song. That's a song right there. Instead of being the first line of the song, I made it actually the concluding line of each verse, how I miss that dog of mine. So, and I started it as the first line, and then I used it as from then on, I used it as the concluding line. Another song I like a lot is Lisa Tribble and I have been together many years, and I was just thinking of all the things she does. Sometimes we're separated, and she's off in England, and I'm here, and I was just thinking about her and the things she's done and how much I admired her. And I just said out loud, I believe in you. I believe in you. And so I started this whole song. Oh, I think I believe in you. And so I believe in you became the concluding line. But there are all these other things I believe in too. So I made this whole song about believing in something, and especially a person. On the day that actually Lisa and I woke up, and we heard people shouting in the street, and they were happy. And I realized, because it had been 3 days since the election, and it was closer than I expected, and it looked like it might go for Biden for sure. And then suddenly it must have been called, because of that Saturday, I believe, people were just shouting in the streets and were so happy, and cars were booping their horns. And here in New York City, of course, might be different than some of the other places in the country that were more for Trump, because he has a real base and that believe in him still. And so we went out that night and just sort of wandered the streets and had a great time, just sort of digging it, and just as we got home, I am 3 steps from going into the apartment building. I said, just enough people don't want to be Nazis. And we laughed. I said, you know, that's a song. That's a song right there. That's the first line. And I came up with a little melody for it. So I started to work on it. And I finished it. And I didn't put it out on YouTube, but I did put on Facebook the lyrics. A lot of people liked the lyrics. Some people didn't like them at all because they could see. But I did, one person, I was a very thoughtful person, said, you know, don't want to be Nazis. That's, you know, I visited the cemeteries and so forth, and Dachau and all the places, and you're treading on ground there that's hard to, you know, I wish you'd reconsider using that word. So I changed it. So the evolution of this was just enough people don't want to be crazy. And I thought, that's a better word. That's a better word. Don't want to be crazy. Yeah, that's a better word. So I convinced myself, and I wrote her back, I think you're right. I'm gonna change it. And on my Word document, I put it to crazy. And then January 6th happened. And then I went, you know, Nazis is the more accurate word. Just enough people don't want to be Nazis, don't want to lock babies away in a cage. Just enough people will come to the rescue, will stand up to bullies who rule the front page. Life or death, hold your breath. There's a little place I know that is very safe to go. People there always fair. Just enough people will do right by others, will always give credit to what came before. Just enough people consider the other, remember to thank you as you hold the door. Just enough people believing, they seek to do justice and honor their word. Just enough people revere truth and beauty, they follow the sun as free as a bird. Life or death, hold your breath. There's a little place I know that is very safe to go. People there always fair. Just enough people will take time to listen to elders and children, to a beating heart. Just enough people don't bow down to tyrants, conspiracy cowards who tear us apart. Life or death, hold your breath. There's a little place I know that is very safe to go. People there always fair. Just enough people. You know, I love being an artist because you can work through these things. You have to be as honest, and like I say, sometimes you have to say things. You have to go for the dragon and not the dragonfly. But I do get chastised more often by people that are on the left for not being politically correct, for not using words that are makes them feel bad or something like that. And I try to take that into account, and every once in a while I change it. I had this song, The Great American Dream, and each verse was a different person. First it was, excuse me, sir, I am a foreigner. And then I'm a prostitute, I'm a carpenter, I'm a writer. I am, and the last two verses are apparently problematic. I am an Indian. Now, for years, I said Indian, but I would read things that certain Indians would say, I don't mind Indian, but some people say Native American. Now, Native American, that's 6 syllables. That doesn't work. Excuse me, sir, I am a Native American. Now, you can say it's work or it's not going to hurt as many people, but it just, for a long time, I just kept it Indian, Indian, Indian. Then this was after 25 years, I finally came to a better word. And I did it at Phil Sagina's club, the Town Crier, just this past year. Excuse me, sir, I am a Cherokee. Now, I've heard from certain Indian tribes, that's what they prefer. They prefer their tribe name instead of being an Indian or Native American. Most of all, but suddenly after 25 years, it occurred to me to say, why don't I say Cherokee? So I listened. I didn't discount the argument that it was a politically incorrect thing, but it was easy on the ear, and it mostly said what I wanted it to. So I kept it there for a long, long time. The one I've had trouble with, another one, is the last one. Excuse me, sir, I am every man. People want to say I'm every person, I'm every being, I'm every this. None of those have the poetry that every man has. Every man has poetry. And there's no substitute for that with more politically correct language. So I'm going to keep every man until it occurs to me that there might be something that it's just as a dragon word. That, to me, that's the dragon word. The others are dragonfly words. And I'm going to keep it there until suddenly somebody will say, what if you said so and so? And I go, golly, that is better. Well, I'll change it then. But until that happens, I'm not going to do it. Just enough people consider the other. Remember to thank you as you hold the door.